Γεια σας, με λένε Μαρία και είμαι καθηγήτρια ελληνικών στο Greek My Mind. Hello, my name is Maria and I'm a Greek teacher in Greek My Mind. Today, I would like to talk to you about Greek verbs. Verbs called in Greek ρήματα. So, let's start. An easy way to learn Greek verbs is by categorizing them. So, let's say that we have 3 categories of verbs, and I'm talking about irregular verbs, because we also have irregular. So, irregular verbs, first category. In the first category, we have the verbs that end in O. This O is omega, as all verbs, because all verbs in active voice end in O. But the thing that's important to remember is that in this category exist verbs that end in omega without a stress and with no vowel before them. For example, the verb μένω. The second category of verbs is the category having verbs ending in ao, o with stress. So ao can become o with stress. Ao, o. For example, μιλάω or μιλώ, I speak, talk. And the third category of verbs is the category that has verbs which end in o with stress. For example, the verb εξηγώ, I explain. Now, before we start conjugate them, I would like to tell you that in Greek we have only one present tense. It's not the same as in English that exists present simple and present continuous. We have only present and can be simple or continuous depending on the context. We also have past simple, past continuous, future simple, future continuous, present perfect, past perfect, and future perfect. And sure, we have active and passive voice, subjunctive and imperative. Now, I'll start from scratch, from present tense. Let's now conjugate the first category of verbs, the verb that end in O with no stress, no vowel before. For example, the verb μένω. So, the first thing that you need to remember every time that you try to conjugate a verb in any tense is that you need to remember this verb in the first person singular in present tense. If not, it's okay. But the most important thing is try to remember that. Why I'm telling you that? The most important thing to do in order to be able to form any ending is to be able to drop the first ending, O, and what's left in front of it is what we call in Greek thema of the verb. This in the regular verbs stays the same, does not change. We can change the endings, O, the O ending can change. We can add things in front, okay, but the main thema stays as it is. So in μένω, if I drop the ending O, I have men. So, let's conjugate it. I live or stay is μένω. Εγώ μένω. Εσύ μένεις. Αυτός, αυτή, αυτό, like in English, he, she, they have one, the same, μένει. Εμείς μένουμε. So the ending is ούμε. Εσείς μένετε. Έτε. Αυτοί, αυτές, αυτά, because in Greek, for they, we have also 3. One for masculine, αυτός becomes αυτή. One for feminine, αυτή becomes αυτές. And one for neutrals, αυτό becomes αυτά. Μένουν or μένουνε. So the ending is un or une. It's the same. So the first thing that you need to know is remembering these endings, and one thing that could help you is remembering them with the example μένω. Because exactly like μένω, you can conjugate in present tense, active voice, all verbs that belong in this category of verbs ending in no with no stress. The verbs ending in ao, o. Μιλάω, μιλώ. So, I speak. Εγώ μιλάω or μιλώ. Here we drop the ao, o, so what's left is mil. Mil is the theme, το θέμα, and ao is the ending. So we change only that. So, εγώ μιλάω or μιλώ. Εσύ μιλάς. The ending is us. Αυτός, αυτή, αυτό μιλάει or μιλά. I or a. Εμείς μιλάμε. Αμε. Ending. Εσείς μιλάτε. Ατε. Ending. Αυτοί, αυτές, αυτά. Three for they. Αυτοί, αυτές, αυτά μιλάνε or μιλάν. Ανε or an. And third category of verbs, the verbs ending in o with stress, like εξηγώ. Let's conjugate it. Εγώ εξηγώ. So, if I drop the ending o, what's left is εξήγ. Εξήγ is το θέμα, the theme, like we say, and o is the ending that we can drop. Εξηγώ. Εγώ εξηγώ. Εσύ εξηγείς is ending. Αυτός, αυτή, αυτό εξηγεί. So, e ending. Εξηγεί. Εμείς εξηγούμε. Ούμε ending. Εσείς εξηγείτε. Είτε ending. Αυτοί, αυτές, αυτά εξηγούν or εξηγούνε. If you take a look, the first category of verbs, μένω, and the third one, εξηγώ, basically are the same. They have the same endings, but be careful one thing, that the stress in εξηγώ stays at the last syllable, o, is, e, and otherwise they're the same, and the only thing that changes is that ete, second person plural of μένω, ete, μένετε. In this one, in εξηγώ, second person plural becomes ite. All the rest are the same. So, long story short, if you remember these three examples of verbs and their conjugation in present tense, active voice, you're gonna be able to conjugate any verb that belongs in these categories in present tense. So, feel free and practice on your verbs.